to the Kansas landscape, but their effects can be devastating. For man, there is often costly damage when trees break up and when power outages cause temporary hardships and the need for immediate repairs in bad weather. But for wildlife, ice storms are often a matter of life and death. Freezing rain encases food supplies, making it impossible for some animals to eat during cold and dangerous conditions. Birds are especially vulnerable since they rely on plant seeds and berries that may be locked under an inch or more of ice. With no way to reach their food supplies, storm duration becomes critical. If the ice doesn't thaw in a day or two, many creatures die of starvation and exposure to cold. Ken Brunson is the non-game wildlife coordinator for the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. He explains what happens when an ice storm hits our state.
Well, of course, blizzards and ice storms are going to affect wildlife in a major way. That's going to be the most critical time of year for survival for many of them. And the thing about ice storms is that the ice will just cover the food source. Songbirds in particular have a difficult time of getting to that food source when it's encased in ice. Not so much for small mammals and other wildlife that can get to it. Small mammals can gnaw through the ice and get to the food source. Obviously, the larger game animals can paw the ground and get to their food sources. But it's so critical for songbirds to be able to get to their food source, and they can't do that when it's encased in ice. Supplemental feeding of wildlife is a very popular activity, and most people put out some kind of bird seed in the winter. Well, this is the time when those songbirds can really use that to help get them through a really tough time. They'll need a little bit of supplemental feeding when they can't get to their seed sources that are encased in ice, and this will really help them.
Time will tell how the large-scale ice storm of 2007 will affect Kansas wildlife. In many counties, food was covered for about 2.5 days. If animals could not stay dry during the significant rainfall that occurred with this storm, lack of food made exposure even worse. If so, mortality, the trademark of winter, was a significant problem of this rare weather system. I'm Mike Blair for Kansas Wildlife and Parks.